What's up, my Century Galaxy Kingdom? It's Centuryman here, so back again with another episode review of South Park, Series 19, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Where Is My Country Gone? It's all about Mr. Garrison, the teacher from South Park Elementary, running and becoming the 45th President of the United States of America. And also, there's a love interest storyline in this episode focused on Butters dating this girl called Charlotte. We'll get to Butters' story in this episode a bit later on in this review. So this episode is a good episode. It's a good follow-up to Stunning and Brave. This episode is covering a lot of immigration, running for president, and so on and so forth. Actually, it's focused on immigration and the US president campaign anyway, and also Donald Trump. This is the first year that South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone covering Trump. They've been doing it for 5 years. This season, and then the following season, season 20, season 21, season 22, season 23, and season 24. About 5 or 6 years. Because our current timeline, the current president of the United States of America is Joe Biden. And Mr. Garrison is going back as the teacher from South Park Elementary. Anyway, so let's talk about Mr. Garrison's story of this episode, running for the President of the United States of America, and immigration. So the Canadians has moved to America and living in America, lived in South Park. Mr. Garrison is a bit pissed off about immigrations, the immigrants taking their jobs. Typical what you see in the real world, in what country you're from, and I don't want to get into it, immigrations and politics. Anyway, you got a cameo appearance of Randy, because at the last episode, Randy became a member of the PC crew. He said to Garrison, he did the typical woo 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 woo. Did he call them immigrants? The correct term is undocumented Americans, because they're not Americans, the Canadians. Because, if you say immigrants, that's no. Because PC people just do not like the term immigrants. Otherwise, if you heard that song, the PC song, they'll beat you into PC black and blue. Anyway, so, and then the next scene, he's teaching his class, he's a 4th grade teacher. He couldn't understand one of the Canadian kid. He's speaking too fast. He's using terms like guy, buddy, and he used the term friend. He called it friend. Friend is FREINDS. Well, not S, but he kind of replaced the R and put W. It's just like I kind of like that. So friend. And all the Canadian kids basically got up from their desk and play their musical instruments. And also I thought it's a song from The Godfather, or one of the songs from one of these Godfather movies, but instead I looked him up. I looked the song up. It's called "Feel So Good" by Chuck Mangione. And one of the and Garrison says, what the hell are you doing? And one of the Canadian kids says, "It's AM, guy." And basically, it really was the last straw for Mr. Garrison. He said, why do you Canucks go back you came from? Yeah, well, because a Canucks is a person if you're from Canada. It's like calling a person from Britain. It's a term for British people, Brit. If you're from Sweden, they're a Swede. If you're from Poland, you're a Pole. If you're from Finland, you're called a Finn. A Danish person, a Dane. You get my drift. Anyway, and also while the kids are playing that song, you got the usual classmates, the students at the 4th grade class, Stan, Cartman, Kyle, Kenny, Token, Clive, Butters. The kind of puzzle, you got that thought says what are they doing? It's just what it is. And also there's another scene like the Canadian kids are basically praying, and they put like maple syrup on their food. It's like, who puts maple syrup in their food? But anyway, so and also in the beginning scene of this episode, you had Kyle at the White House accepting his award, because basically at the last episode, Kyle got picked on by the PC crew for basically says Caitlyn Jenner is not a hero, and then he admits he's a hero or she's a hero, and then he's at the White House with the 44th president, 44th president of the United States of America. That is Barack Obama. This was Obama's final full year as the US president before he lost it to Trump. I don't want to get into it. So he looks bored. He's wearing a medal around his neck. He doesn't want to be there. And then when Obama says, "We're going to make your wish come true," he kind of like perked up a little bit and then introduced Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, they kind of poked fun out Caitlyn Jenner in this episode. Caitlyn Jenner, he speaks with her lips in this version. His tongue sticking out, his eyes a bit. It's like Picasso. If you see a drawing of Picasso, one eye's upper than the other. And then Obama says to Kyle, instead of flying you home, you're going to ride with your hero Caitlyn Jenner. And then Caitlyn Jenner, stumbling a little bit. Caitlyn Jenner basically driving his car. I don't know what type of car it is. He or she's more like a she. She says, "Buckle up, buckaroo." She said it with a lisp. And then Kyle's looking at Caitlyn Jenner. He's that type of look. It's a kind of looks. He's thinking, what the hell are you? He didn't really say, what the hell are you? He's looking very odd at Caitlyn Jenner. And then Caitlyn Jenner ended up running over a woman. Because in real life, Caitlyn Jenner, I saw a video of Caitlyn Jenner running over a paparazzi. A guy that referenced it in the show. I think it's, his or her gag in this episode. I don't think she's around in this show, because I think she's gone after Garrison is no longer president of the United States of America. That was the vaccine special. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, that's a future episode for another time. Anyway, so and also you got like Cartman is basically a shit stirrer towards Kyle. Brings up like his speech of Caitlyn Jenner bring a lot of immigrants in America, and he didn't name drop Ike. He says Kyle's brother's Canadian, blah 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 blah. And Kyle says, "You think my speech is a way of immigration?" And Stan kind of says, "You went overboard. I know you're making speeches, but not everything's black and white." And Clive says, "I know you preach about Caitlyn Jenner. You can't make blank statements about everyone can do it the way they want." And Kyle says, "I don't want to make that speech." And also Conan says Genesis 3:16 I think it's from a Bible or a scroll, said about what Kyle's doing, the Jews doing it before Kyle. Yeah, the Jews do the same what Kyle's doing right now. And Kyle says, immigration in America is been happening since forever. And basically Conan says it's happening right now because you're a Jew, you did a statement of Caitlyn Jenner, and you're destroying the fabric of America. And also, they had enough Kyle's speech. That's really the buzzword of this episode. Every time Kyle does a speech, they had enough. He's like, "Oh, I had enough. I'm out." He did it again, and 3 times he does it in this episode. So let's go back to the the episode of Mr. Garrison. He got told off by the PC principal, and he said about like they got up, disrupt the class, playing music, and PC principal informed Garrison that they play music at 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. playing, not 11 p.m., 11 a.m., sorry, playing Chuck Mangione. And Garrison says, "I can't understand that language." And then PC principal ordered Mackey to sign up Garrison of Canadian language class. And Mr. Mackey says, "Yes, PC principal, right away." You can tell he's completely scared of the shit of the PC principal, because if you piss him off, you end up beating the fuck out of you. Look at Cartman, he took a beating from the PC principal. Like I said, watch and listen to the PC song. They're gonna beat you until you PC black and blue. Anyway, so he went to the PC, not PC, the Canadian language class, and you got this teacher called Mr. Sticking in My Balls. I can't laugh at that. And he's singing the Canadian ABC. It's basically I'm gonna say it. So it's A B C D E F guy, H I J K L M O P buddy. Was it Q R S T U friend, W X and hey farts. And these are Canadians ABC. Susie like Harry balls. What do you think of these? I can't laugh at that. And also you got the I think it's the first official musical number of this season. Yeah, you got the PC song at the last episode, but this is the first official musical number of this season of South Park. It's Where Is My Country Gone? You see Mr. Garrison in his montage, seeing Canadians skinny dipping, at night. He's in a long line in the DMV. You saw like a sign says "Stop, buddy," because that's Canadian language. And also, there's people in the bar praising his song. And also, the Garrison's house racing sign says "Garrison for leader," because he wants Garrison to become the president of the United States of America. And one of Garrison's song is called "Where's My Country Gone." It says like, it took 44 presidents stand tall, one black guy unravel it all. I don't want to get into politics, but and then you got some Canadians ruining his song. Yeah, you got these. Yeah, they're ruining my song, trying to make it sound like Chuck Manley John. And he basically said about like, I don't, there was like a meeting outside of, I think it's some, I don't know where it is. He said like, I don't know nothing about immigration policies or the law or ideological concepts. It's like, damn it, there's some Canadians here. I'm going to do something about it. And then also he got fired from South Park Elementary because he speaks the truth about Canadians. He says, I'm downriver. Guess what? No one likes you. Sorry, not sorry. I'm trying to say what it is. And then he kind of confronts the PC principal, says, you got a pizza face and suck your mom's dick. I kind of laugh at that. And he said like there's one immigrant policy I believe in is fucking all to death. It's just like, and also he kind of used that term throughout this whole bulk of this episode, fucking people to death. He said like he's gonna once I fuck all Canadians to death. He didn't use the words Canadians. Once I fuck them to death, I'm gonna build a wall. If they climb over their wall, you get fucked to death too. And then they find out that the Canadians beat Garrison to the punch. They built their own wall. And then you got one guy on the top of the wall says, no one's go up there. We got cool shit back there. You don't want, they want people like Americans, basically raping women and stuff. And Garrison says, we're Americans. We don't want to go over there. And yeah, and the guy says, we got cool shit back there. And Garrison says, cool shit what? And he's like, I want to see over there. He wants to see they got cool shit and, cool stuff, I'm trying to say. But they pronounce it cool shit. And then you got the two politicians, this is minutes later. There's two politicians, Garrison shot down. They're just kind of like, yes, man, yes, sir, no opinions, Garrison says, I want to see if they got cool shit back there. And he kind of shot down the two politicians. Like, one's got gaps in lips, and one's got, was it bitter green balls? It's kind of funny, man. Jesus. So, like I said in this episode review, I said love interest storyline in this episode is focused on Butters dating this girl called Charlotte. It's basically Cartman's plan. He said like, this is Carl's plan. We're going to end up in camp, making us into livestock. And they kind of reference Lion King. Because Butters in one scene in this episode brings some lines from I think it's Lion King 1 or 2, when Cartman says, what is the story about two groups of people fighting, a guy and a girl got in love, and their love made the two groups of people start fighting, and Butters, says Lion King 2, I said to myself, can you just say Romeo and Juliet? Because the Lion King movies are based on Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet. I like the Lion King movies, 1 and 2. I don't like Lion King 3. The reason why I don't like Lion King 3, it's based on Timon and Pumbaa. It's just a rehashing, the two Lion King movies. I don't like the live action Lion King movie from 2019, I think. I hate Disney do these movies, recreating anime movies and turn it into live action form. I just don't like him. Unless they're doing a live action Hunchback of Notre Dame, I might watch it, but anyway, let's move on to continue to review this episode of South Park. Yeah, Butters was in this relationship with Charlotte. It's basically Cartman's plan. For what he's basically typical Cartman, shit stirring towards Kyle. Anyway, so Buzz is on the phone and Cartman asks Buzz, did you give her the hot Cosby? And they kind of reference it in the first episode, Hot Cosby, and I find out it's at this moment of time in 2015, Bill Cosby, the comedian in America, I think it was during his sex scandals, sex assault, I don't want to get into it. And Butters says, no, I don't want her thinking this is so rush, because he wants to do it organically instead of super rushed. He doesn't want to be doing this play in the first place, and before that, they did the whole night, and Buzz was the last person, and he goes, oh shit. He doesn't want to doing this, and then you got when Charlotte says to Butters, do you want to go to my house for dinner? It's like, oh boy, oh god, here we go. He's, a bit nervous. He goes, I think this is Butters' first relationship for, I said about since 2003, about 12 years. It's an episode when Wendy broke up with Stan, and the Butters in this relationship with a Raisins waitress called, what's her name? It's been a long time, I don't want to get into it. He's basically dating like a Raisins waitress. It's basically a parody of Hooters in America. Anyway, so let's get back to this episode review. You got the dad basically jealous of Buzz, brings up maple fever. He said, bad enough we stay in this country or move to this country because boys like him, maple fever to our daughter. And he brings up Canada's the greatest country, we got cool stuff, and Buzz says, why'd you leave? It brings up their president. They don't really call a president in Canada, they call him prime minister, but he brings up there's a brash asshole, saying things he's supposed to say. He didn't offer a solution, he's saying outrageous things, and he kind of broke down, sobbing, says, we didn't pay attention, blah blah blah. And Butters says, how bad could a president could be? And also, let's get back to, there's one funny part that, Mr. Garrison they're at Niagara Falls trying to get to Canada because they can't go to Canada, because they build a wall. So, I know they're predicting what Trump will do if he was president, but unfortunately, his plans never fulfilled fruition. It never wasn't happening. I don't want to get into it, but, anyway, so he said when he gets to Canada, he's going to fuck every last one hard, and you got Jimbo and Ned kind of putting him into this barrel and throwing him off into the falls of Niagara Falls, and then people are chanting, USA, USA, and then the barrel kind of broke middleway into the Niagara Falls, and you hear Garrison grunt, and they still continue, USA, USA, and Jimbo says, oh god, he's dead. It's they're fucking dumbasses, man. I got a life for that. Why could look at the Simpsons? They fly towards Canada. This is an episode when Homer and his dad, the smuggling drugs from into Canada, into America. They fly across the country, the border. But in South Park's terms, they have to like let's go to Canada. Let's go into Niagara Falls and die. You know, you'll probably die in Niagara Falls, but he didn't die. Mr. Garrison, he managed to get into Canada, and then he saw this guy commit suicide. He used guy was a buddy and friend. You know, at least his Canadian language is paying off. Unfortunately, he couldn't understand what he's saying because they speak English in Canada, but in South Park terms, he didn't understand him. He commits suicide, and there's not one music but two music. You know, Chuck Mangione also played Safety Dance in this episode. I like that. I think they played it in the past episode, the Aspen episode from episode 2 of series 6. Family Guy. Sorry, bit of a tongue twisted moment. Family Guy played it it's an episode when Joe's daughter Susie was born. Yeah, that's another story for another time. Anyway, so introduce Canadian Trump. And you find out this is not Kyle's speech of Caitlyn Jenner made the Canadian people go to America. It's basically their president becoming a dick. They both have arguments saying where's their country gone, and like the typical like no one's talked to me like their friend. No one's talking. Sorry, bit of a taunt at the moment, but no one talks to me like that buddy or guy. It's getting confusing. Canadian language of South Park. They end up fighting. Actually, Mr. Garrison kind of basically fuck the Canadian Trump to death. When he says the terms fuck people to death, I think he literally means fuck people to death. So, anyway, sorry about from seconds ago. It's very fast. I spoke too fast, man. But anyway, yeah, it's a callback to the Canada on Strike episode. You got Stephen and Bootman, arguing with Terrence and Phillips. Says, "I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, friend." Go and check it out. I like that episode. Anyway, and let's talk about I'm gonna cap off this episode with talk about more of Charlotte and Butters. They use sorry. That's the typical Canadians say the word sorry. The word sorry. Yeah, it's like, and Butters says, "Why is sorry? Sorry is the way that Canadian people say remorse," and also they said it again, like, "I'm so sorry about my father or papa. He get be so emotional sometimes. I'm not the one who's sorry." Because he said about, "I'm not supposed to have time." It basically says people have the wrong ideas of your people. And Charlotte says, "That's okay. They got to take time." Yeah, but it says, "I'm not supposed to have time. I'm supposed to give you the hot Cosby." And he said, like, "I'm going to give you a slow Cosby instead." And Charlotte says, "In Canada, we call slow Cosby love." And then, Charlotte kissed Butters. They saw a shooting star. And they say good luck. Charlotte says, "In Canada, we call it good luck. So will we." And yeah, they end up one scene they're drinking, sipping their milkshakes together, and then when they find out their Canadian Prime Minister or President was fucked to death, they end up they're celebrating like yes, because they don't want to be there in the first place, and then end up leaving. And basically, Charlotte says to Butters, "I'm gonna Skype you when I came home." And Butters' final lines of this episode says, "I should have given you the hot Cosby instead." He didn't say instead, but I should have given her the hot Cosby. Cosby, Jesus. But it's a shame for Butters, man. He had this feelings of this woman, this girl, and then you won't see her again until in the Yowley episode, the Tweaking Craig episode of this season, and also she appeared in a cameo in season 20, and that they end up breaking up. I understand they don't want this love interest between Butters and Charlotte. They're more focused on Cartman and Heidi. It's a shame, but I feel sorry for Butters. He has this girl that he loves, and they end up she end up moving back to her own country, and then a year later they end up breaking up. It's a shame. I don't think they'll go back to that storyline. I think they just have Buzz. I think Buzz is officially done with love. I don't know. I don't think it hurt Buzz. It's just what it is. So, and afterwards, you got like Kyle said about this is not me. Make the Canadians move. He does his typical speech. people get sick of Kyle. He had Stan and Cartman says, "Dude, unbelievable," and basically Kyle fucked off the stage, and Garrison said about, "I'm going to Washington with my running mate," and his running mate is Caitlyn Jenner. I think they missed the boat when Mr. Garrison became president. If you imagine they had, Caitlyn Jenner as the first lady, or Mr. Slave, if they're not broke up in 2005, but one of them as the first lady, Mr. Hat as the vice president, that'd be fucking funny. But yeah, they missed the boat on that. That's just me, but yeah, and in the end, you had Caitlyn Jenner and Garrison basically drive towards the sunset to Washington to really begin their president campaign, becoming the 45th president of the United States of America. And yeah, you got Caitlyn Jenner says, "Buckle up, buckaroos." I'm not making fun of people who have mental illness. It's just what he says. It's just making fun of it, making fun of Caitlyn Jenner, and you run over like this person. I think it was a guy with I don't know. I think it's a woman or another man. It's a typical Caitlyn Jenner gag of this season. And also, speaking of the only gag of the season, is basically the PC principal picking on Leslie. He said, "Hey Leslie, shut your fucking mouth." Because Leslie's the girl with the orange outfit, orange hairband, orange shirt. Really whispering to another girl's ear. She was wearing pink. And also in the Ninja episode, basically the PC principal points a laser towards her head. It's like, yeah, I think this is setting up the other story arc of this season. The PC principal, Garrison running for president, and PC principal, and also with Leslie. What's their backstory? I'll get to the lateral stages of the season in the future. So I'm gonna wrap up this episode review of South Park. Yeah, this was a good episode. I like the jokes. People give it an A. I think it is an A. I think I like Stunning and Brave so far, but this was funny. It kind of set up the further episodes in this season, so hope you enjoy it. Leave your thoughts and concepts below, smash the like button, click the like, join the Central Unit of today, and yeah, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, like I said, for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, because I'm covering What If of this month, go out until October, and more. And we'll see you next time for another South Park episode. Next time we're moving on to episode 3. Is it going to be a continue from episode 1 and 2? You have to wait until I find out. And this is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later.